It's 3 a.m. You should be asleep. Instead, your brain has decided right now is the perfect time to replay that one thing you said at a party 7 years ago. You know the one. The joke that landed wrong, the name you got mixed up, the thing you wish you could take back. Your face goes hot. You pull the blanket over your head. Why is your brain doing this to you? Now think about something genuinely good that happened last week. A compliment, a moment you were proud of, something that felt warm and real. Where is that? Gone. Faded. Maybe a vague outline if you're lucky. Same brain, one memory sharp as a knife, the other basically vapor, and your brain is completely fine with this arrangement. Here's the question. Why does your brain hang on to embarrassment like a treasure, but let good moments slip away like smoke? The answer reveals something surprising about how memory actually works. Let's find out. Here's what makes this genuinely strange. Logically, you'd think your brain would keep the good stuff and throw away the bad. That seems like the healthy, sensible system. Keep the wins, discard the losses, move forward. But your brain doesn't work like a highlights reel. It works like a security system. And security systems aren't designed to record beautiful sunsets. They're designed to record threats. Every embarrassing memory, every moment of social rejection, every cringe-worthy failure, your brain flagged those as important, not because it wants to torture you, but because socially, historically, those moments mattered. Being rejected by your group, being seen as incompetent, being laughed at, these were genuine threats to survival when humans lived in small tribes where social standing meant the difference between being fed and being left behind. So your brain treated social pain almost like physical pain, and it stored those memories with the same urgency. Meanwhile, the good stuff, the ordinary, pleasant moments, got filed away loosely, without that same alarm signal. No alarm, no deep storage. No deep storage, no clear memory. The mechanism behind this has a name, the negativity bias. Your brain, at a basic neurological level, responds more strongly to negative experiences than to positive ones of equal size. Bad is stronger than good. Loss hurts more than equivalent gain feels good. Criticism stings longer than praise feels warm. This isn't a personality flaw, it's architecture. Studies show that negative events are processed more thoroughly, encoded more deeply, and retrieved more easily than positive ones. The brain literally devotes more neural activity to processing something unpleasant than something equally pleasant. And embarrassment in particular gets a special boost, because embarrassment is a social emotion. It's specifically about how others perceive you, and your brain, wired for tribal survival, treats social perception as a life or death variable. The moment you felt that hot flush of embarrassment, your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, fired hard. That alarm signal is what makes a memory stick. The stronger the alarm, the clearer the memory. But here's the twist. The memory doesn't just stick, it gets distorted. Every time you remember something, your brain doesn't play back a recording. It reconstructs the memory from scratch, using whatever pieces it has, plus whatever your current mood, fears, and beliefs add to fill in the gaps. And embarrassing memories, because they're connected to your deepest social fears, get the most dramatic reconstruction. Think about that party story you've been replaying. How many people actually noticed? In reality, probably fewer than you think. Studies consistently show that people dramatically overestimate how much others notice and remember their mistakes, a phenomenon called the spotlight effect. You feel like a spotlight was on you. In reality, everyone else was too busy worrying about their own spotlight to pay much attention to yours. But your brain doesn't reconstruct the memory with accurate proportions. It reconstructs it with the emotional weight you felt in that moment. The hot face, the silence, the imagined staring, and every time you replay it, that reconstruction gets a little more vivid, a little more catastrophic, a little more permanent. Meanwhile, your pleasant memories do the opposite. Without that strong emotional alarm to keep them anchored, they fade, the details blur, the warmth flattens. Within weeks, many positive experiences become summaries rather than memories. That was a good trip, instead of a lived, felt recollection. So you're left with a strange archive, a handful of embarrassments in sharp, painful detail, and a vague, warm cloud where the good moments used to be. But here's the part that should actually change how you think about this. The 3 a.m. embarrassment replay isn't random. There's a specific reason it happens at night. During the day, your prefrontal cortex, the rational, calming part of your brain, is active enough to partially suppress the alarm signals. You're distracted, you're doing things. The embarrassing memory is there, but it stays in the background. At night, when your prefrontal cortex quiets, the amygdala runs more freely. The alarm signals surface without the usual dampening, and your brain, which uses sleep time to consolidate memories, picks the emotionally charged ones to process first. So the 3 a.m. replay isn't your brain punishing you, it's your brain doing its job, consolidating what it thinks matters most. The problem is that it was designed for a world where social humiliation was genuinely dangerous. In your actual life, that party mistake from 7 years ago is not a threat, but your brain doesn't know that. It's still running ancient software on a modern problem. Here's what all this means, and why it's actually useful once you understand it. The negativity bias that drives embarrassing memory storage is the same bias that makes you remember dangerous situations, learn from mistakes, and avoid painful experiences. It's not a bug. It was a feature, a very useful one for a very long time. The issue is that your threat detection system cannot distinguish between a predator is nearby and I said something awkward at a party. Both trigger the same storage process. Both get the alarm. Both get the deep encoding. So what can you actually do with this? Knowing the spotlight effect is real helps. Knowing that the memory has been reconstructed and exaggerated every time you've replayed it helps. But the most powerful thing is this. The same mechanism that makes embarrassing memories stick can work in the other direction. Deliberately dwelling on positive experiences, not just letting them pass, but actually sitting with them for 20 to 30 seconds, noticing the details, letting the feelings settle, gives your brain the processing time it needs to encode them more deeply. You're essentially telling the security system, this one matters, flag it. You can't fully silence the 3 a.m. replays, but you can start building a more balanced archive. So the next time your brain wakes you up at 3 a.m. to replay something you wish you could unsay, remind yourself of two things. First, far fewer people noticed than your brain is telling you. The spotlight was mostly in your head. Second, your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's keeping you socially safe by reviewing perceived threats. It just hasn't gotten the update that the tribe you're worried about has mostly forgotten, moved on, or never noticed in the first place. Your embarrassing memories aren't a record of your failures. They're a record of how seriously your brain takes your place in the world. That's worth something. And the good moments? Start sitting with them a little longer. Give your brain a reason to file them properly. I'm the Stick Sage, and whatever cringe memory your brain just surfaced while you watched this, I promise nobody else remembers it like you do.